going on, everyone, and welcome back to some more Kerbal Space Program ASMR. Today, we're going to be working on some space shuttles and space planes, kind of trying to figure out a good way to send a payload into orbit, and, trying to learn, I guess, how to do that. We're trying to basically work on a space station. We already kind of have a space station going on. That one's more of the Kerbal National Space Station, a nice rendezvous for Kerbonauts only, whatever you want to call them. But this one, I believe, is going to be a science station. As far as how big its orbit's going to be, I'm not sure. We haven't really decided yet. We can kind of, I guess, really build it in any orbit and then extend its orbit at any point later on. But that's all this is going to be. We're going to be just working on stuff in the orbit of Kerbal. We're fresh off a completely failed mission to Duna, was the original idea. Then tried to go to Eve and ran out of fuel and completely missed it. Of course, that was with a satellite. No one was injured, but here we are, launching our first space shuttle into orbit. It was actually very hard to control, and about lost it multiple times here, as you'll see. One thing you can see is the payload is actually oscillating inside, which was not to plan. It was not supposed to happen. I forgot to strap it down, and you can see it struggling to get to orbit. We're stuck in the atmosphere, burning off way too much delta V. So this is a failed mission already. We are not going to be able to get to orbit. So whilst we're doing this mission, we're still going to try some stuff out and see what will work. We're going to get the detachment there, and a huge explosion happens. Very similar to, well, I don't know about very similar, but similar-ish to a real-life space shuttle mission where there's some damage on the space shuttle for re-entry. Great. Payload is completely destroyed. Our re-entry speed is not that high, so I think we're going to be okay. We're definitely going to get pretty engulfed in flames here. Look at that. That's crazy. Very, very much engulfed in flames, and everyone's having a real good time. Look at that. All these pieces falling down. This is a crazy sight. That's a pretty steep descent, really. Yeah, I think in real life, this thing would have burnt up pretty good on re-entry. Of course, we're in the middle of the ocean. We have zero fuel. We're just gliding it down into the water here. We're going for a Sullenberger landing into the ocean. Here we are, lined up pretty good. It's going to come to a complete stop. And a nice, successful ocean landing. Let's take a look and see just how in the middle of the ocean we are, and zoom out. Look at this. We are deep. We were in the middle of the ocean. Now we're going to try a tinier space plane. Obviously, this one doesn't have like a payload, or, we're not going to make a space station with this by any means. This, I guess, is just a test to get some rendezvous procedures going on. I almost think we do rendezvous with the space station for sure, the Kerbal National Space Station, and I believe we take some of the Kerbals off of it that have been up there for years. But successful separation there. We're going to do our flip. Looking good. And we bring some Kerbals back home. I do believe this one, though, we do not land still at the KSC. I think I overshoot it by a large margin, and having a hard time with my landings. I very much overshooting the KSC. But here we are trying to get a rendezvous going on, getting ourselves into orbit very successfully. So far, this space plane is a complete lock-in. Got to orbit real easily. And it's taken me a while to get the rendezvous going on, a couple of orbits there, but that's normal. It takes a while in real life to get the rendezvous situated, I would imagine, at least. I would hope. It's pretty crazy stuff. Here we are, though, getting a burn going. Going to get really, really close, within a couple 100 meters of the space station. And we're going to do a separation of our load, which is a little dangerous to be in the same orbit. It's a little dangerous. I don't think it's very smart, honestly. It's kind of dangerous, dare I say it again. But gonna get ourselves situated. We got ourselves a docking port. We're gonna have to control from that. And I do believe the whole scenario situation is done here at night on the dark side of Carbon, which makes it a total vibe. We got the cockpit cam here. Look at that. Look at the space station. We found it. In orbit. Crazy. Rendezvousing is freaking cool. Once we open up the docking port, it has a huge light on it. As you can see, look at that huge light it's got on there. Oh, once I with the cockpit view, it messed everything up, but we got everything lined up here. Looking really good, going really slow. Just letting it line itself up now that we've made contact. It's using the magnets and whatnot. And boom. Successful coupling. You can't really see the station from inside the cockpit cam, but we're going to go ahead and get some crew transfers going on. Get some of the guys back on board. They're going to get ready to come back home, see their families again. And it's going to be great. We're going to, of course, do another mission in the future to repopulate the space station. Get some more guys back up there doing some work. Hopefully planning on sending a mission up here for refueling. Get some more fuel added to the space station. It's more of a refueling station. Maybe that's what we'll call it. And get that place kind of dialed in. That was me going out as an engineer. I'm trying to place a flag down. Okay, I'm trying to place a flag down on the side of the thing. I'm an engineer. I cannot figure it out. Somebody, does anybody know? Like, how do you place a flag down? Or anything on the side of the ship? Like, you can put struts, install struts. I figured you have to be an engineer to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, separation is successful. Drifting away from the space station. And we're going to get our retrograde burn going on here. Get ourselves back down to the surface. See if we can make it nice and successfully back home. Getting a nice strong re-entry angle here. Try to burn off some speed. Try to line it up with KSC so I don't overshoot it, but I do end up overshooting it by quite a bit anyways. I'm going to take a sip of water, see if you can hear it. Very good water. Sorry about that. Getting the flames going on. Nice. Here's the inboard. Onboard, in-car cam. Lots of flame going on. Getting ready to hit some big G-forces here on re-entry. Losing a lot of speed. Still no sign of KSC. That's how far we are out. Still got a lot of surface to maneuver through. Bottom of the plane getting pretty hot. We are through the good stuff, it looks like. Oh, starting to hit some flames again. And yeah, it's looking like we're going to overshoot KSC by a good amount. Look at that thing. It's way down there. Here's me struggling to just try to burn off some speed here. We're catching on fire again. And I just end up giving up here, and we're just going to drop down into the ocean. Because I overshot that by an extreme amount. I mean, I think I attempt to fly back. It's just, yeah, we don't have enough fuel whatsoever to get back home. But, fortunately this space plane came equipped with a parachute. Although, I will say, it's not a very good parachute. It's more like a drogue chute meant for slowing the plane down after you land, it seems. But fortunately, it still worked for us here. You'll see. We're getting down low, burning out of fuel, just gliding here. And I use it, and it slows us down, but it's not too much here. We're still going to nosedive into the water pretty hard. Oh boy. This is going to be a pretty hard injury. Oh yeah. Everyone survived. Very successful. Another crash landing. Oh, now we're going to, sorry about that. Now we're going to get a different space shuttle kind of dialed in here. Look at this. Going to have a payload. This is going to be our space station payload. We got computers on board, monopropellant. Unfortunately, I end up using all the monopropellant. Don't even realize that I'm using it, but we'll be able to refuel it. Some space gadgets or science gadgets and stuff. And I don't know, the space shuttle is a little weird. It's a little small, and it causes a lot of issues for us here. But here we go. We are going to launch. It is rather successful launch, honestly. We launched pretty easily. Separation's great. Getting into orbit is fantastic. You'll see everything here. Here comes the first separation. Not too shabby. They fly away. We're going to do our 180. Go in the back. Try our 180. Tried it a little early there, but we ended up getting her going there. Good stuff. It's really manual. I was really having to fly this thing myself very much, which is a lot of fun, honestly. Trying to get it into a better orbit here. We're a little off cycle, so this space station is going to be a little wonky with the orbit. It'll still be rendezvousable. That might be a little tough. We'll be able to make some adjustments, though. Getting rid of that stage and get ourselves close. Get ourselves into an orbit here. That stage will fall back down to Kerbal and smack into the ocean or burn up on re-entry. So that's very, very good. Got a lot of space debris, honestly, out here in space, but get the payload door open, and we have ourselves the space station. I'm now looking at the monopropellant, seeing it's all gone. I used it all. Absolutely insane. Go ahead and get the thing undocked here, and it's going to shoot out from the space shuttle. Look at that. Beautiful sight. The start of the science station. No one on board. Just computer controlled. It's going to be computer controlled for a while. We're going to get some stuff added to it. If anyone has any suggestions or recommendations or things that we should add to it, definitely say some. You know what I'm saying? It's the science station. Unmanned and just, ready to be built on and ready to get some folks on board and get some science going. It's going to be rad. Now we're on the dangerous part of this mission. Of course, we're going to try to look at the station here from inside the space shuttle. Once we get sight of it here, look at that. It's so beautiful. Flying over the surface of Kerbal, way high up in the sky. Gonna go ahead and get our retrograde burn going. I believe I'm still kind of aiming for KSC, even though this is about the worst. This thing is we need to improve on this design. The way it launched was great. Everything about it was great. I'm almost thinking if we just need to use the first space shuttle that blew up on us. But I just need to strap down the payload more and kind of improve on its design. But this one does work. And if I were to use this one again, I would just throw some parachutes on it for re-entry. This is about to be the craziest thing ever. And this is insane. So we did a whole backflip here. It's super bright inside, and I was thinking we were going to have control after the backflip. I was thinking the backflip might have been a fluke, but then I just lose complete control. And I basically don't get control again. We're done. It's completely out of control all the way to the ground. There's very brief moments that we have control, such as right here. We're kind of in control a little bit, and I lost it. So essentially, the idea is to just wait for us to lose a bunch of altitude, just drop it down. Any input I do, it freaks out. So just lose a bunch of altitude, get to the ground, and then we're just going to floor it. Right here. Full pin. Try to burn off as much fuel as we can. Lower our delta V, lower our, momentum. And we're going to smack the ground, boys. Here we go. That was a huge smack to the ground, but everyone survived. Absolutely a miracle. Mission success, I would say. That is insane. So, that's going to be it. That's going to be it for this episode. Nice crash landing into the ground. About lost half the space plane or space shuttle. Everything's all good, though, and we successfully got the space station in orbit. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I appreciate you and hope this calmed you down. And hopefully maybe you're asleep by now. And I really hope you have a great rest of your day and or night. Goodbye.